Hello again. I'm here to go over lesson 10.5 in your Go Math packet. I already sent out the video on YouTube for the Go Math video. Now I'm going to go over the pages in your packet. So you should be looking in your packet and finding page 585. Again, we're still on chapter 10. At the top, it's lesson 10.5. So we are beginning a new lesson today for 10.5, and here is the learning target. I can use the strategy, draw a diagram to solve problems about time. This is what I put up maybe about 20 minutes ago for the Go Math video. So what you saw in that video, you will see in these worksheets, the first two pages. I will be doing page 585, and I'll put that on my little sticky note. And I'm going to do 586, and then I'm going to stop, okay? So I'm going to try to do those two pages today. They go along with the video that I already posted on YouTube. I can use the strategy to draw a diagram to solve problems about time. So, beginning on page 585, look at the problem. It's the same problem that was in the video. They may have changed the numbers just a little bit. Zach and his family are going to New York City. Their airplane leaves at 9:15. They need to arrive at the airport 60 minutes before their flight. It takes 15 minutes to get to the airport. The family needs 30 minutes to get ready to leave. At what time should Zach's family start getting ready? So again, there's a lot of information in there about all the things they have to do in order to get on their flight and get on the airplane so that they can go to New York City. So let's underline some important information. Zach and his family are going to New York City. Their airplane leaves at 9:15. Please underline leave and circle 9:15 a.m. is what time the flight will be leaving. They need to arrive at the airport 60 minutes before their flight. Please circle 60 minutes before their flight. They have to get there basically an hour before their airplane leaves. It takes 15 minutes to get to the airport, so they have to drive there, and it's going to take them 15 minutes to get to the airport. Please circle and underline that important information. Then it goes on to say the family needs 30 minutes to get ready to leave, so please underline needs 30 minutes to get ready to leave. And then the question, of course, at what time should Zach's family start getting ready? So there's a lot of information. Again, I did fill out this sheet like I've been filling out sheets, but I'm going over each part with you step by step. So now we read the problem, and now we have to fill in the information. So they want to know, what do you need to find to solve this? Well, I already wrote it in for you, so please copy. I need to find what time Zach's family should start getting ready. All right, I have a lot of information about all the things they have to do, but I got to find out what time should they start getting ready so that they can get all this stuff done so that they will get on their flight to New York City. Next, it says, what information do I need to use? The time the airplane leaves, the time the family needs to arrive to the airport, the time it takes to get to the airport, and the time the family needs to get ready. So I got to find 4 different things to figure this out. I need to know the time the airplane leaves, which I do know, it's up here in the problem. I need to know the time the family has to get to the airport. That's the second thing I need to know. The third thing is I need to know the time it takes them to get to the airport. And I need to know the time the family needs to get ready. So there's 4 different things I got to find out. And obviously those 4 different times are here in the word problem, or 3 of them are there in the word problem, and I'm going to use those in a number line. So please copy, or please write those words on the blanks. And I'm just going to move it over here so you can keep writing if you're still doing the middle section. It says, how will I use the information? Now, I didn't write anything there. What I'm going to write is I'm going to use, it tells you I will use a number line to find the answer. So you actually don't have to write anything there, because that's the strategy or the method or the diagram that we're going to use to help us solve this problem. So they already told us, I will use a number line to find the answer. So you don't have to write anything there. So now, again, pause the video if you need to. It says, solve the problem. Bullet 1, find 9:15 a.m. on the number line and draw the jumps to show the time. So 9:15 goes at the end of this number line, and they already put it there for us because that's what time the flight leaves to go to New York City. So we are counting back to find out what time the family needs to get ready. So bullet number 2, it says count back 60 minutes to find the time they need to arrive at the airport. I did that, and I'll show you in a minute. Step 3, count back 15 minutes to find the time that they need to leave for the airport. And bullet 4, count back 30 minutes to find the time they need to start getting ready. So Zach's family has to get ready at what time? Well, let's look at the number line that Miss Harling made, and you also have to make. This is what time they need to get there, because that's what time their flight is leaving. So they have to get there an hour before that. An hour equals 60 minutes. So I'm going to go back 60 minutes, and it's 8:15. I also have to use the 15 because that's how long it takes to get to the airport. If I take 15 minutes off of 8:15, I'm at 8 o'clock. Then the 30 minutes I used, again, I'm going right back into the problem to find these numbers. The 30 minutes that I'm using has to do with the time that the family has to get ready. If I take 30 minutes off of 8 o'clock, I'm at 7:30 a.m. So what time does the family have to start getting ready? 7:30 a.m. And that's what I put over here. So Zach's family should start getting ready at 7:30 a.m. Again, I'll zoom out a little bit. Make sure you have that number line. And we already filled in the numbers that go here. Count back 60 minutes to find the time they arrive. Count back 15 minutes to find the time they need to leave for the airport. And count back 30 minutes to find the time that they need to start getting ready. So we used those jumps, 60 minutes, 15 minutes, and 30 minutes, and we made our number line. So I'll hold it there for a minute and let you copy. So now you know, obviously, where those numbers came from. They came from the problem at the top of the paper, giving us all the different times of things that they have to do in order to get to the airport on time. Now, I want to go over this math talk for a minute. It says, how can you check your answer by starting with the time the family starts getting ready? Well, obviously, instead of counting backwards, we would count forwards. So adding 30 minutes on would be 8 o'clock. Adding 15 minutes on would be 8:15. Adding an hour on, which is 60 minutes, is 9:15. And 9:15 is the time they told us that the flight is leaving. So it makes sense. So what are we doing here for the math talk? Instead of counting back, we counted forward to check our work. Okay, so now I'm going to the next page, boys and girls. You should be on page, 586. It's still lesson 10.5, and we're at the top. It says try another problem. So please look, It says Bradley gets out of school at 2:45 p.m. It takes him 10 minutes to walk home. Then he spends 10 minutes eating a snack. He spends 8 minutes putting on his soccer uniform, and 20 minutes it takes Bradley's father to drive him to soccer practice. At what time does Bradley arrive at soccer? Please, circle and underline this information. Gets out of school at 2:45. Please circle. 10 minutes to walk home. Circle 10 minutes, underline to walk home. Spends 10 minutes eating a snack. Circle 10 minutes, underline eating a snack. Spends 8 minutes putting on his soccer uniform. Circle the number 8, underline minutes putting on his soccer uniform. It takes him 20 minutes for Bradley's father to drive him to soccer. Please circle the number 20 and underline the rest. And then, of course, underline the question. At what time does Bradley arrive at soccer practice? Now, there's a lot of writing on here, and I know you're going to have to pause the video to make sure you get all of this in. So we read the problem. We circled and underlined important information. What do we need to find? I need to find what time Bradley arrives at soccer practice. Please copy. And I'll make it a little bigger so you guys can see it. Please write that. I need to find what time Bradley arrives at soccer practice. Again, I said earlier in that math video that I was going to slow down a little bit to make sure you get this down so that you understand each step of what we're doing to solve the problem. Again, pause the video if you need to. Then, in the middle section, it says, what information do I need to use? There's a lot of information. You need to know the time Bradley gets out of school. You need to know the time it takes to walk home. You need to know the time it takes to eat a snack. And then the last one, you need to know the time it takes to get dressed. He did a lot of stuff before he got to soccer practice. So please try to write all of this down. I'll wait a few seconds, but you can also pause the video. So you need to know the time he got out of school, the time he walked home, the time it took for him to eat the snack, and the time it took for him to get dressed in his uniform. Okay, I'm moving on. The last part. How will I use the information? Well, we're going to use a number line. I can start with the time Bradley gets out of school, and then I can draw a number line to find the time Bradley arrives at soccer practice. So basically, we're going to draw a number line, and we're going to make those jumps based on the minutes it took him to do all those things, and we're going to get those minutes from the word problem at the top of the page. Please copy. Okay, pause the video if you're still writing and you're not ready to move on, but I'm going to keep going. Now, down here, zoom out a little bit, is the number line that was used to help us explain our answer. So again, we know he got out of school at 2:45, so that goes at the beginning of the number line. We're trying to find out what time he got to soccer practice. So we have the starting time. We got to find the ending time. So now we're going to put all these elapsed times on here of all the stuff that he did. So starting at 2:45, you need to make a jump of 10 because that was when he walked home. So if I add 10 to 2:45, he got home at 2:55. Then I'm going to add another 10 minutes because up in the problem it says he ate a snack. So now he's home and he's eating his snack. What time did he finish eating? 3:05. So I was at 2:55. I added 10 minutes. Now I'm at 3:05. After eating the snack, you should be jumping 8 minutes because in the problem it says he spent 8 minutes putting on his soccer uniform. So 3:05 added to 8 minutes of putting on your soccer uniform takes you to 3:13. After he put on his soccer uniform, it says he took 20 minutes, or his father took 20 minutes to drive him to soccer practice. So the uniform's on, dad's driving him, it takes 20 minutes. What time did they get to soccer practice? 3:33. So now I know what time Bradley arrives at soccer practice. Please copy the number line. All right, then of course they're asking the question. It says, at what time does Bradley arrive at soccer practice? Your answer is 3:33 p.m. Pause the video if you need to. Your number line's there. Your answer is there for number 1 at the bottom of the paper. He arrived at soccer practice at 3:33 p.m. Now, I am going to do the math talk again. It says, analyze. Do you need to draw jumps on the number line in the same order as the times in the problem? Notice Ms. Harling already answered that. I said no. So even though up here I did go in order of all the things he did before he got to soccer practice, I don't have to do it that way. I could have started with 20, then 8, then 10 and 10. It doesn't matter how you, what order you put the jumps in, as long as you're putting the correct minutes. So I'm just going to put here, do you need to draw jumps on the number line in the same order as the times in the problem? My answer is no. You can add the numbers in any order. So you didn't have to make it in the same order I did. Your number line doesn't have to be exactly like mine. You could have jumped 20 first and then added 10 plus 10 plus 8. You just got to make sure you have the right minutes. But you could have added the numbers in any order. So you can write that, okay? All right, then number 2 is the last question. It says, how do you know, let me zoom out a little bit. How do you know that your answer is reasonable? Well, we can check our answer by starting at 3:33 and working our way back to make sure we got 2:45 because we know that's the time that he started. So it says, how do you know your answer is reasonable? I checked by starting at 3:33 and counting back on the number line all the minutes. So instead of counting forward, we could have counted back on the number line until we got to 245. So basically, you checked, let me zoom out a little bit. I checked by starting at 333 and counting back on the number line all the minutes, and you should have gotten to 245. That's a way you can check your work to make sure it's reasonable, to make sure that it makes sense. All right, so we did two different things here. We had to find a ending time, and on the other page we had to find a starting time using all of the minutes that they gave us for everything that they did in the word problem. So that was today's lesson. Again, pause this video if you're not done writing, but I want to stop because I'm past 20 minutes, and again, I don't like to make my videos too long. Tomorrow I will do the next couple pages for 10.5. I hope you were able to understand the information and you were able to follow along with what I showed you step by step. Again, it should be familiar to you because we started it already using number lines and sometimes using a clock. Now, these two pages didn't show you anything with a clock, but I believe tomorrow they will, maybe not. I like the number line anyway better because I think it's an easier way for you to figure out elapsed time or to figure out when something started or when an activity ended. So maybe we'll just continue to work with the number lines because it is easier. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you understood it. Have a great Tuesday. I hope you guys were able to see the flyover. I'm not sure if you heard it, but there was a beautiful flyover maybe about, because right now, what time is it? It's like almost 1 o'clock, about almost a half hour ago. There was a flyover from the military, thanking all of our essential workers and people who are on the front line working with the hospitals and people who are very sick, whether it's police, fire, nurses, doctors, EMTs, and they just flew over to thank those people for their service of what they're doing during this pandemic of the coronavirus. So I just saw it and I took a little short video of it. I thought it was kind of cool. I might post it on YouTube so you guys can see it if you didn't see it earlier. Okay, have a good one. Bye.